Thomas Tourist videos are brought to you by my Patreons and viewers like you. Thank you. 79 years ago, on this day, May 12th, the first ever Railway Series book, The Three Railway Engines by Wilbert Awdry, was published to the world. This book marked the momentous beginning of what would be known as the Thomas franchise we know today. While Thomas wasn't actually in the first book, as it wasn't until his second book that he made his grand introduction, The Three Railway Engines was still the beginning of what would be known as the Railway Series, carrying the legacy of what would be that little blue tank engine. And today is the 79th anniversary of the Railway Series. However, there have been many anniversary events over the years celebrating Thomas's legacy. There was the 45th anniversary, which had Wilbert himself cutting Thomas's cake, and there was a Day Out with Thomas event alongside his son Christopher Awdry. And books like Happy Birthday Thomas or Thomas's 45th birthday came out, even though Thomas technically wasn't in the first book, but whatever. Then there was the 50th anniversary, which had the Thomas Tank Engine Man book come out, along with the documentary as well. This was essentially Awdry's biography. We also got commemorative gold Ertl Thomas, which becomes quite the trope for the anniversaries, and also a silver one too. Then there was the 60th anniversary, which had the special Calling All Engines come out, a movie that has nothing to do with the Railway Series, but whatever, alongside loads of commemorative merch such as a golden wooden Railway Thomas, or a silver Percy, or a bronze Diesel, or a blue and green Henry, which, hey, is actually something from the Railway Series for once. There was also Day Out with Thomas events, parties which had live shows, and so many commemorative DVDs, mugs, pins, so much merch. Say what you will about HIT, but they knew how to market this show. And then there was the 65th anniversary, which also had DVD box sets, loads of amazing merchandise, and this movie. Very Railway Series accurate indeed. But they did throw a Reverend Awdry map into the movie, so I guess that's something, I guess. And then there's the 70th anniversary, which was easily the best celebration year for Thomas, where we got Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, which included celebrity cameos from Olivia, Jamie, John Hurt, the return of Donald Douglas, Oliver, Alfie, Max and Monty, Daisy, and the Arlesdale engines, who were originally Railway Series exclusive characters. So many returnees! Then there was The Adventure Begins, which was basically a retelling of the original Thomas stories in CGI, along with Thomas's original LBSC paint scheme, and the number 70 to mark the 70th anniversary. And we got James in his original black livery, like in the books, showing how he became red, and the original scores by Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell, along with the return of Farquhar Station. Not to mention the amazing merchandise, including a wooden railway model of Thomas based off the original model that the Reverend made, wooden railway Black James, a gold Thomas, because you can never have too many gold Thomases in an anniversary year. Not to mention a 45-minute long documentary about Thomas featuring Chris Awdry, and they actually made the Reverend Awdry himself canon in the CGI series. And they even outright used Railway Series illustrations at the end of The Adventure Begins. So yeah, needless to say, they really went above and beyond for the 70th anniversary of Thomas. And then for the 75th anniversary of Thomas, we got the Royal Engine and some metallic Trackmaster 2 toys. And then the show ended. Bravo guys, you're really doing the franchise justice there. But in all seriousness though, you all know how much I love the Royal Engine since I've talked about it like 10 million times on this channel by now. But yeah, we did get some callbacks like the Reverend Awdry's drawings of Thomas, you know, little things like that. But why am I bringing this all up right now? Well, in exactly 1 year from now, it will be the 80th anniversary of the franchise, which leaves us with the question, what are the plans for the 80th anniversary of Thomas? Well, that's what this video is going to be about today. I, as a Thomas theorist, am going to predict what the plans are for the 80th anniversary of Thomas. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to make some very bold claims, and in a year and a half after this video is out, when the 80th anniversary is all over, I'm going to come back to this exact video and review how right or how wrong I was on my predictions. Thanks to emails from Ian McHugh, we know that Mattel apparently have big plans for the 80th anniversary, but obviously due to NDAs and the like, he can't really share anything about that. But this does confirm that Mattel have plans for the 80th anniversary. So here are some of my predictions for what they might do for the 80th anniversary. So let's begin. Prediction 1, the Down the Mine pilot. Ho ho! Coming out of the gates swinging here with a pretty bold claim. But yeah, I think Mattel might actually come out with the Lost pilot for the 80th anniversary. Out of all the Thomas Lost media, none is more sought out after than the original 1993 Thomas pilot. Now, before all of you go calling me crazy saying this is something that Mattel would never do, this is actually quite a common thing that companies do, like how DreamWorks released the pencil sketches of the Prince of Egypt for its 25th anniversary. You know, I could totally see Mattel doing something similar, where they release it like on the official channel or something, in a series of special 80th videos or something. Or maybe something through their social medias like Facebook or Instagram. I mean, they do post a lot of behind the scenes information there as well. And considering this is the Thomas pilot, one of the most sought after bits of lost media from the Thomas franchise ever, that everyone has been trying to find for years now, I have a strong feeling that the people at Mattel know that too. I certainly know for a fact that Ian and Sam know all about the demand for it, but then the question becomes, does the pilot even exist anymore? Going by the rescans they did of the original Down the Mine pilot, they actually restored this footage, meaning that they did have access to it somewhere around in the 2000s. This is the most recent known example of somebody having the Down the Mine footage, since this episode uses parts for that stock footage. You can tell by the way Thomas looks in the shot here. And considering we very recently got this new image from the pilot, I think it's very likely that the film is still around. So my prediction is that the pilot will be released for the 80th. Prediction 2, The Art of Thomas and Friends. So a while back, I got very interested in looking at concept art for the CGI series of Thomas and Friends. In fact, I made a whole thread about how the CGI series needed its own art book. One thing led to another, and I actually edited together a picture of what I thought that book cover could look like. Kind of like those art books you see that Disney or Pixar release, with loads of concept art in it. Well, I like this idea so much that I actually ended up sending it to Ian McHugh himself. And Ian actually responded to me, saying that it was a wonderful idea for the 80th anniversary, even suggesting that an art book about all the different eras of Thomas, from Series 1 concepts to the Reverend's original drawings, would be a great idea for a concept art book. Apparently, Ian also owns The Art of the Incredibles and The Art of Spider-Verse. So I sincerely hope that this does come true, because for one thing, you'll have me to thank for it, but also because there is so much artwork from the Thomas and Friends franchise that would be really cool to see in a book. I would absolutely love to own a hard copy of some of those Robert Gargalier art pieces. And who knows, there could be so much stuff that we haven't seen yet in that book. So my second prediction will be that we'll get an art book about the concept art for Thomas and Friends throughout the years. And if it does come out, I will definitely be buying a hard copy. Prediction 3, All Engines Go Anniversary episode. My next prediction for the 80th is that they will come out with some special extended episode for All Engines Go or something that will be created with the 80th anniversary in mind. In a similar vein to the Royal Engine or The Adventure Begins, I think the All Engines Go crew will have their own special episode to mark the 80th anniversary of the franchise. Now, I don't know how special their episode is going to feel. We are talking about All Engines Go after all. Even if it is just a run-of-the-mill episode, in a similar vein to how Calling All Engines just slapped the 60th logo onto the box and called it a day, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a similar situation with All Engines Go, where the random special for that year just so happens to have the 80th logo slapped on it. But who knows, maybe they will do something really special. Hell, maybe they'll bring back a legacy character like Duck or something for the special. Speaking of which, that leads me to my next prediction. Prediction 4, Duck returns. Now, this isn't really a prediction since we already allegedly know that Duck is coming back to All Engines Go, if this toy from Japan is to be believed, but my prediction isn't necessarily that Duck is going to come back since we kind of already know that, but rather my prediction is that the reason Duck is coming back in All Engines Go is because he is going to make an appearance in the 80th anniversary special as some sort of surprise or guest appearance for the fans. I mean, it kind of seems like something they do since the All Engines Go crew are fairly aware that the fandom likes Duck, and he has been mentioned many times by them in interviews. So my prediction is that he will be brought back to All Engines Go as a special cameo appearance or something for the fans in the 80th special. And you know what? While I'm talking about All Engines Go, I'm going to make a second prediction, and that is that Henry and Edward will finally get their first speaking roles in the 80th special. I mean, after all, the special will be celebrating the first Railway series book that they appeared in, so it makes sense that they would speak in the anniversary episode, does it not? And we have prediction 5, and that is the Audrey Extravaganza 5. Crazy, right? How I'm talking about the Audrey Extravaganza 5 when the 4th one hasn't even happened yet. But yeah, my first prediction is that the Audrey Extravaganza 5 is going to happen, but my second prediction is that we'll probably have some sort of crazy reveal about the Railway series. There's always been at least 1 or 2 reveals at these Audrey events, from having the original Railway series pictures out to having the original photos of A Sad Story for Henry. Considering the Tallaghclon Railway works alongside Mattel for these events, from having the original models out to having the original photos out, I also predict that we'll get some never before seen stuff regarding the model series of Thomas, and we'll probably get some cameos from the Audrey family members too. Hell, considering how close Mattel and the Tallaghclon Railway work at these events, I wouldn't be surprised if they just outright showed the original pilot at this event. That is another prediction I'm going to make. Say what you will about HIT and Mattel, but from what I've heard, they're actually pretty good with the Tallaghclon Railway. Unlike HIT Entertainment, who try to sue them all the time and are responsible for this abortion of a face, at least Mattel actually works alongside the Railway, even if their representatives are Sam and Sean. Thanks again for signing my book, by the way. But yeah, my predictions is that we'll get some cool reveals at the 80th anniversary themed Audrey Extravaganza in 2025. So yeah, those are my 5 predictions for the 80th anniversary of Thomas. They are that we'll get the pilot, there will be an Art of Thomas book, All Engines Go will have an 80th themed episode, Duck will return for that episode, and we'll get some new crazy information at Audrey Extravaganza 5. I imagine we'll also get a gold All Engines Go Thomas or something, but that's already par for the course. I think it's kind of obvious that we're going to get some sort of gold Thomas, since they love to do those for the anniversaries for some reason. So these are my general theories about the 80th anniversary next year, and what I might do in a year and a half from now is come back to this video after the 80th is all over, and we will review my predictions in this video and see what sort of things I got right and see the things that I got wrong. But don't leave me out here to hang, guys. I don't want to be the only one here making predictions. I want to hear what your predictions are as well. So in a year and a half from now, when I come back to this video, if your predictions about the 80th anniversary are right, I will feature your comment in that video I make in a year and a half from now. So let me know what your predictions are for the 80th anniversary of Thomas, and who knows, if your prediction is correct, in a year and a half from now, you might be featured in a Thomas Tears video. So go wild with your predictions about the 80th, guys. Try and make your prediction as unique to you as possible, and the more unique and accurate your prediction is, the more likely it'll be in that video. So I'll see all your predictors in a year and a half to see if our predictions were right, and I also want to give a big happy 79th birthday to the Railway series, the reason we are all here in the Thomas fandom to this day.
How would you like to be remembered?
I'd like to be remembered as an author who understood children, understood perhaps how their minds work. I don't know.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will catch you all in the next one. Slán Abhaile.